Hi, friends. Welcome to We're Fine, It's Fine. This is my little mini series where I like to say that chaos meets coffee and then we kind of just laugh our way through it. I'm Joanna, your host, a professional marble loser, as my 10-year-old Noah would like to remind me. I'm a full time mom to three amazing kids. I have a Noah who is 10, Ezekiel, who we call Siko, is 8, and my little girl Camila, and she is 4. Around here, we're not just raising kids, we're also navigating through autism, as two of my children are on the spectrum. So we have Ezekiel, who is level 3, and Camila, who is level 2. She does have echolalia and she processes language with Gestalt processing language. So we'll kind of get into that as well. But if you know, you know. Basically, they keep me on my toes and make me Google more than WebMD ever has. So that's our life. I'm also a wife and a stay-at-home mom and your guide through this roller coaster of life, marriage, and raising two kiddos on the spectrum. Sprinkled with humor, meltdowns, and occasional we're fine, it's fine moments. So buckle up, grab a snack, and let's do this. This week we have been really going through it. Gamina now knows most of the song or most of the words, I would say, to the song Golden. If you know, K-pop has taken over, I'm sure, everyone's household, but it included mine as well. So yeah, it's now a staple. We listen to it at least 50 times this week, but hey, who's counting? Just losing my mind a little bit at a time. And if it seems like I'm like reading, this is my first time doing this, so bear with me. I've written down notes on my laptop, so I just want to make sure that we cover all the topics. In today's episode, I want to be getting into, which I thought was a cute little segment, is surviving meltdowns while not having one yourself, which is pretty hard. When you do have multiple kids and you feel kind of outnumbered, it's a little bit difficult to do so. This week, like I said, we've really been going through it. Gamina has now been entering the new phase in toddlerhood, as I like to say it, where she does not sleep. And I don't mean like she slept like 6 hours or 5 hours. I mean, she takes a little nap from 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., which is an hour and a half, and then doesn't fall back asleep until 3 a.m. So we're just up, and I'm trying to keep her as quiet as possible so that she doesn't wake up the boys, nor my husband, as we like to take turns kind of navigating through. So lately, it's been surviving off of coffee and fumes, and the occasional BlackRock fuels. So shout out to BlackRock because you are literally fueling this household. Just want to let you know. When she doesn't get as much sleep, and you can probably hear her in the background, it's chaos here. When she doesn't get enough sleep, she's usually more on edge. And just like anybody else would be, any adult would be at that time. But Ezekiel, because of their autism, I feel like they fuel each other. So they get each other going. So for example, if she has a meltdown, he'll kind of just like feed off of it and then have a meltdown himself. So it's just a little bit more difficult kind of to navigate through. And when that happens, it's hard to kind of calm the other one down without upsetting the how do I put this? It's hard to calm one down without upsetting the other at that time. So it's just like you have to like kind of like play like a little strategy game basically. And then right now Camila will usually vocalize what she wants or needs, but Ezekiel is completely nonverbal. And right now he's in the phase where I refuse to use my communication device era. He just refuses. So we're playing a lot of guessing games. Like I said, we're running off of fumes and coffee at this point. And it's just like trying to figure out what his wants and needs are, without having to like really upset him, because the communication barrier really, really is what gets him going. And then not to mention when having a neurotypical child, also known as a child that's not autistic. It is a little bit harder to navigate, just because, he is also in the mix. So it's nice because he's the sweetest, he understands, and he tries to, help me, even though that's not his priority. He knows what his siblings need, and usually he can guess better than I can. So it kind of works out. But he has his own safe space. He goes to his room and he draws, and he has different outlets where he can kind of get his creative feel out because he's very creative. So it's really nice. And just, he says himself, he's like, I'm trying. He's like, I'm going to lose my marbles, mom. Because he tells me that I'm losing my marbles. I'm like, yep, absolutely. And I'm trying to collect them every day. So it's just, it's a struggle game. But he is honestly the sweetest. And I couldn't have asked for a better, bigger brother than him. And then just, I've lately been trying to prioritize my own mental health because I feel like that's more important. When I say, you know, not your children are having meltdowns, but like obviously avoiding one for yourself is important as well, and just prioritizing your mental health. And by that, I mean just, how the saying goes, like, you can't pour from an empty cup, so you have to make sure that you pour into you. Um, I use some examples like I go on a walk. We have a Peloton. I try to get in a workout in, even if it's chaos inside. Something for me to get my endorphins going that will make me feel good. Doing my makeup, getting ready every day. It may seem tedious and it may seem like, oh my gosh, like what is the point if I'm not even going to leave my house, right? But at the same time, it's like when you look good, you feel good. So just doing little things for yourself. I also try and prioritize to get my nails done, even though I'm, a stay-at-home mom, I still like to look presentable. And it's just one of the things that I feel like I can control in a world where it feels like you can't control anything else. So it's definitely, just finding something that works for you, whether that be, enjoying a nice cup of coffee outside while the kids are playing and kind of just like decompressing, or what they say, doom scrolling, journaling, reading, anything that you can figure out. And that doesn't go for just mothers that have children on the spectrum. That goes for anybody. Any mother, you obviously it's a hard thing to prioritize yourself after having kids. So making sure that you pour back into yourself is super important so that you're able to give the best version of yourself to your children. Um, and like I said, it's easier said than done. But sometimes, like I say, if you're in like survival mode, it happens to a lot of us where we're just surviving the day. Sometimes that's a win too, just because we're able to get all the things done. Not saying that you should be in survival mode every day, but I mean some days it just happens. Um, but I want to hear what your guys' takes are on this. What's your funniest "we're fine, it's fine" moment this week? I would love to read them and kind of laugh along with you guys because I know how hard it is. But thanks for hanging out with me today. Remember, even when it doesn't feel fine, we're fine. It's fine. See you next time.